On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Cole kills some Glyphkeepers, Tony ate his last meal, and Ethan watched GDQ. Howdy everybody, welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host Tony, and joining me this week I've got Ethan.
What up?
I'm just watching a little bit of Donkey Kong.
I'm watching a little bit of GDQ.
I see, we should be recording a podcast. Really.
I have it muted, you can't stop me.
That's true, I have mine muted too. But I'm watching this so that I have video footage for the video version of the podcast. You're watching GDQ for entertainment purposes. And, I guess, podcast content as well.
Yes.
So, we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yep, can't even talk about what I'm doing right now because it'll be a spoiler for my segment.
Also joining us this week, Ethan, we've got Cole.
Right again you are.
I thought for a second you weren't going to be here.
No. I have to think of a funny quip.
I've got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze here, and I'm like, I really should play this game. I own a copy of it, and I have never actually played this game.
I have not played it either.
I have it as well, and it's just sitting with the Wii U.
Like, I'm not a big fan of the original Donkey Kong Country games on the Super Nintendo, but these games look like they're a lot of fun, and I've just never actually sat down and played one of them more than like 5 minutes.
In my case, they're way too different from the Super Nintendo ones. That's why I've never gone on my way to try them.
Yeah.
I think I've got one of them for free digitally or something.
Yeah, that was one of the. I don't remember which one they were giving away, but when Nintendo did that thing on the Wii U. I think it was the Wii U.
Because you could get that and Pikmin 3.
There were like 5 games you could choose from. I think one of mine was a copy of Mario Kart for the kids. I think, if I remember correctly. So that way they'd have a copy of it on their Wii U, and I had a copy of it on mine. So, I wish Nintendo would do that again. There are a lot of things I wish Nintendo would do, really.
Yeah. There's just a lot of things you wish Nintendo would do.
A proper, PlayStation Now or Game Pass style subscription service would be a great one, but I'm not holding my breath on that one anytime soon. So,
Nintendo Plus.
I mean, it's right there. They do the free games for a week for some of those things. Like, they did Captain Toad for a week. Just give everybody who's a Switch Online subscriber a copy of Captain Toad and be done with it. And get more people playing that game and get them interested in that franchise. Because the game is super fun.
I'll have to take your word for it.
You've never played Captain Toad?
No, I have it was cheaper to buy the game with the amiibo than to buy the game.
Really?
Yeah, so I have the game and the amiibo, but I've never.
Dude, you should play Captain Toad.
The only treasure track or Captain Toad treasure tracker that I've played is in the mini game.
Oh, okay. Even that's really hard to play. I mean, just think slightly larger scale, and in some cases, definitely larger scale.
Yeah,
it's definitely like a game that my wife could get her hands on. Like people who aren't used to holding the run button.
I think it just makes you go a little faster.
It's just a tiny bit faster. Yeah, it doesn't actually make him move that much faster.
Yeah.
The one thing Captain Toad needs to learn how to do is jump.
Yeah.
Oh, he can't because his backpack is too
His
heavy.
backpack is too heavy. Yeah, I know they gave him like a canon reason why he can't jump, but
He can't jump because he's too busy putting the whole team on his back.
that's right. Exactly, man.
His back's hurting from carrying the team. Yeah.
He's got to find Mario. I mean, he's been busy.
Man, we need a new Mario is missing.
I'd play one of those.
The backpack is missing.
Well, aside from not playing Captain Toad, are there any games that you have been playing this week?
Yeah. So I played some Destiny 2. We did that on Wednesday with the podcast and everything. That's the main time I did that. So we went back into the Vow of the Disciple, got our free raid chests, and then we were like, I mean, we're already here. So we decided to do the first encounter.
Mm-hmm.
It went better this week than it did X weeks ago.
Yeah, we eventually finished it this time.
Yeah, once everything clicked into place.
Yeah. It's a pretty fun. It's a pretty fun raid.
You moved me to a different part of the level. That was when it finally clicked.
Yeah.
Well, after we realized that Izzy was just blowing everything, I was like, let's put Tony over there.
Let's put the weakling over there where he can't die.
Yeah, the idea of putting Tony with me was that it's supposed to be like, okay, you can protect him, and I'm like, I'm gonna be gone all the time. I can't protect him if I'm gone.
It's like in the case where y'all are at, it's extremely hard to protect anyone right there. Where me and Izzy were at, and where Stuart and Jason were at, like we can cover each other if needed. You just turn, do 180, and it's like, oh, there they are, bang, 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 give them cover fire.
Yeah. But it was fun. We got to learn some symbol names and come up with some of our own symbol names for stuff.
I really like how you're like, all right, I want you to look at this one right here, and it's like, it's blank. But I'm over here just like, okay. All right, now shoot. It's like, there's nothing there.
Nothing there.
What do you want me to shoot at?
Oh man, that's crazy. I didn't realize that it wasn't showing to you.
Yeah, you're like, look at the bottom one here. That's what I want you to fire. I'm like, okay. What is he talking about? I don't know.
That's weird. Maybe it was. I don't think it was a lag issue.
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but there was nothing there. So it's like, all right, I'm just gonna walk away because I can't figure this crap out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch your rod. That's yeah. But that's mostly it. I haven't played a lot this week. My kid's been sick, and then I have the Texas kids down too. So my oldest is playing Ultimate Chicken Horse right now. My youngest is probably asleep.
That's a good game.
But he's mainly been playing Fortnite. I know.
Don't worry, he'll play real video games one day.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's been
Fortnite
going
no
through-
build mode is legit.
He also has been going through playing some older games. So Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
he's got that out, and it's like, oh man, that takes me back. I'm like, the ship sailing. I'm like, it's so much more streamlined than Sea of Thieves is
Yes.
because it's single player. But man, Black Flag was a really good game.
Real shame that the game they were working on that was just straight pirate boat stuff and all that never came out.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I did a few like nightmares and strikes and stuff like that. Which I mean, I can get into that a little bit more later.
Yeah.
But yeah, just really, I played Destiny a little bit this week. Mostly Wednesday was it, and a little bit a couple of nights ago. So I'll hopefully I'll get the dungeon a few times before reset. Do some Nightfalls,
Be quiet.
and I'll talk about the Nightfalls again later. But that's pretty much it this week for me. A little bit of Destiny, lots of mobile games on my phone while on breaks and stuff like that at work.
All the Raid Shadow Legends.
I play a Raid Shadow Legends style game. It is not Raid Shadow Legends. It's actually good.
Oh. There is a good
Sorry if
version
that ruins
of
our
Raid.
chances at the.
Tony, it's too late for him.
Okay,
It's,
yeah.
if there's a raid, if there's a sponsorship for raid, I meant it's almost as good
No,
as
I will
Raid.
not put a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor on this show. I won't do it.
Says
I won't do it.
I have integrity, just like this champion.
Tony, how much would they have to pay you?
Like $20.
It's good to know there's a
20 bucks.
a bottom here to work with. So.
$20 in game.
I
Yeah,
mean,
give me
you got
$20 of in-game currency and a free champion, and you got me.
Well, if you just type in my code, potato,
It's like you have two co-hosts here, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I won't do. There are some games I will be like, okay, yeah, you can do that. Not Raid Shadow Legends. I don't want that anywhere near the show.
I tried it once, and I maybe it's got like a slow learning curve. I don't know.
No, there is no learning curve to that game.
Well, it's like that one game where it's like, oh, you have these cool looking puzzles. The puzzles are literally like very sparse mini games in the thing that you hardly ever see.
Yeah, I hate that.
And then there's like the advertisements later that you see for a different game, and it's the same thing, but it says we actually have these puzzles as the game. It's like spot on advertising. I love it. I'm not gonna do it, but good on them. Not gonna confirm or deny what they're doing.
I have that game installed, and I've spent money on it.
Raid Shadow Legends?
Yes.
No, not Raid Shadow. No, Hero Wars. That's one of those ones that's like, which number is greater? Is 5 greater than 7? No, you lose. Try again. Show how smart you are. And I'm like, yeah, that looks like fun. I like doing simple math. The game is nothing like this. There are a few of those puzzles at like the first 5 or 6 levels of the campaign, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's crack.
The last mobile game I played, I think, was that League of Legends rhythm game.
Nice.
Hextech Heroes, I think it's called, which was actually really fun. But that's about as deep as I go. I'll play the occasional rhythm game and solitaire on my phone, and if I'm not holding a controller to play whatever else I'm playing on my phone, I'm not playing it.
One of these days I'll do like a mobile games review, but I'm just embarrassed enough as it is right now that I'm just like, I'll talk about a different game this week.
All right. Well, Ethan, what have you been doing this week?
Aside from the occasional stream of whatever we're playing, I mostly just watch GDQ, Games Done Quick. Because right now, Summer Games Done Quick is happening as we're recording, streaming this episode. And I am watching, because they're about to do the final recap of the entire event. And then they're going to go right into the final game. I'm doing quotations here, game, because they're going to do the final game. And then they're going to do the final game. Doesn't make much sense, but it's the same game. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this has been what I've seen. This has been like some incredible runs. Last night was the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time beta task run, and it's like I was talking to Jason about it. He's like, "Oh, so they had a custom cart?" It's like, no. They're running it off the gold Zelda 64 carts.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's all stuff that's in the game. I think they may have did some. I know they did some arbitrary code execution, and I forget what the other acronym is that they did and what it stood for. But they ran these two things together and had like a whole bunch of inputs going on to make all the stuff accessible. But it's all stuff that was in the cart. You even see them do things, and I saw things I didn't even know were in the game.
I've seen things, man.
It was really good, and about 90% of what they showed off it's all in the game.
Yeah.
Like the last 10% is all just stuff that they coded into there right at right. They tell you what they did and what they didn't do, and so it was really amazing to see. In fact, that video is up on YouTube right now. I recommend you go and find Games Done Quick's channel and look for the Ocarina of Time run that they did. They'll have two of them for this event, and one of them is Spike Vegeta and his wife doing a co-op randomizer. That was all right, but this one, I mean, that one was good, but this one just overshadows that massively.
Yeah.
Just the task run was just so great. And it wasn't even like a full-on task run. They actually had a person running controller on the game because there's too much that can go wrong, and so a person actually has to do all the work on there really, while the taskbot does the code execution.
Yeah, like the only thing I've had a chance to check out on demand, I watched a couple of runs like Mega Man Extreme 2. I watched that one live, but the Phasmophobia run just blew my mind.
Yes, that was great.
I have never seen Phasmophobia run so surgically and so precisely. It was crazy.
It was great. Yeah, if they run into a room, they got the EMF reader, which goes from 0 to 5 on there, and like you just barely hear people. They're like, 5 stars, and throw it down on the ground, or 5 stars, five lights on. There's that level 5 EMF, and it's like, did he? I heard it. I don't think I ever saw it. Whatever. Okay, I guess they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, whenever we play it, me and Stuart and Jason and Mute, it's like, okay, EMF's not going off. I guess whatever, and just throw it down on the ground, let it. And like 10 minutes later, you hear it beep, and it's like, what level was it? I was just level 2. And then they're like the spirit box constantly going off for them for most of the stuff, and it's like we'll spend hours trying to get the spirit box to work, and it just decides not to. And we know all the ins and outs for all that.
Yeah,
They know exactly what questions to enunciate to get the thing to answer and everything. They're like, "What's your name? How old are you?"
Yeah, they're asking how old it is. Me, whenever I'm playing it, if I don't know how often or how much attention you pay, but I'll walk around even though I don't have the stuff to do that, the audio stuff for asking. You can walk around and ask questions and say, like, "Are you here? Give me a sign." And the ghost will react occasionally to that, even if you don't have the stuff. So that's why I do that, because the game is always listening.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's worked several times, and it does not fail to creep me out and make me a little scared.
The game's doing its job then, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely. So the final game for the whole thing is Elden Ring. I've never actually seen Elden Ring played.
Yeah, I haven't either.
And I kind of been avoiding Elden Ring because I don't own a copy yet. I've been waiting for a Steam summer sale.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, the summer sale is happening right now, and guess what? The game is still full price. And they're like, hey, here's this game on our summer sale for full price.
That's not a sale.
Thanks, Namco Bandai.
Yeah.
Stay classy. No, they're not listening, but I like to believe they heard me.
So they'll hear you eventually.
When they decide to listen to someone who's like possibly investing stock in them. Yes.
10 years ago on a podcast, you said, "Thanks, Bandai Namco."
Well, you're welcome. You have to spend $40,000 to get them to listen to you.
We've decided to deny you our copy of Final Fantasy 1623.
Okay.
They'll be.
Why is Namco making Final Fantasy?
Because they bought out Square Enix in 2046.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That tracks.
That could happen. The Kirby and the Forgotten Land speedrun was really good.
That's another one that I want to see.
Apparently, there's like content in the game you can access that's cut, and
Really?
they didn't access it, but they showed how to get to it, and that's accessible. And it's like there's boss fights that are programmed in that you can just go into that are never accessed at all.
And you can just do this on a stock version of the game?
Yeah, I don't think there's been a patch or anything, so yeah, the game's complete.
Interesting.
Let's see, what else was there? I did watch the Metal Gear Rising run. Not Metal Gear Rising. Yeah, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. There we go. They did that one, and they did Blade Wolf DLC right after that. That was pretty good. The guy was quick and very efficient on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach run yet, but that is on my list of things to watch. I was really sad with the Grand Theft Auto Vice City run. KZ Fru, the guy that's been running it, I caught a couple of his runs just very recently. Because of I think it was ESA Winter, and they did like an interview with him. And one of the questions they asked him was his thoughts about pineapple on pizza. And he just kind of starts going on this tangent right after they ask him, saying, "Yeah, pineapple's great on pizza. What really disgusts me is no one's talking about olives. That doesn't belong in there at all." And it's like, all right, this guy has just won everything.
He's right on both accounts. Pineapple is very good on pizza, and no one should put olives on pizza.
Yes, thank you. And then so he does the GTA Vice City run, gets done with it, and says, "That's it. He's not doing that anymore." So I'm like, he'll probably still play the game and like stream it, but
yeah,
I don't think he's going to do it in speedrun mode anymore. So it's kind of sad to see that go, because it's like apparently he's been doing the game for a while, and I may have caught runs before and didn't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
But dude's super interesting to watch. Let's see, what else was there? That Mega Man block, I kind of saw part of the Gun Vault Chronicle stuff on there while I was at work, but it was busy and I didn't have audio, and it was like only look over occasionally to see. The Yakuza Like a Dragon run, that looked really interesting. Same issue, I was at work.
Yeah.
I got home in time to catch part of the Halo Infinite run. I definitely saw the ending of that because we got done with stream just in time for me to catch that. That's what I'm going to go back and see for whenever I end up replaying through Halo Infinite after they get everything situated correctly, and maybe the co-op stuff added. So look forward to that, Tony.
Okay. What are they up to right now, donations wise?
$2,485,240.
What's their goal?
$3 million right now.
Okay.
And they'll do the any % Elden Ring bonus run, the Elden Ring after Elden Ring.
Yeah, they're gonna play Elden Ring after Elden Ring.
And this is like the big push where they get like a whole bunch of money in, right here at the end. So that's the thing. The Pokemon Emerald randomizer was really worth the watch as well. As every time they leveled up, the Pokemon would randomly evolve into another one. And so, and they were also doing like a co-op. They all had their own controllers. So it's like one guy, it's like, all right, this guy's going to play it. No, now this guy's going to play. Now this one. But any of them could live control the game at any time. So they would occasionally mess with each other on there.
Nice.
Let's see.
The bees!
And they named the Pokemon Bees! With a bunch of E's in there. I do plan to go and watch the Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion run, even though that was a 6:35 a.m. run.
Yeah, I saw that one on demand. It's there. I haven't seen it. I haven't watched it
it's there, and I that was too early for me to wake up and watch. I did see part of Incredible Crisis being run. That game is crazy. And I gotta look into it because I want to know more about this game. Let's see. The Kirby Tilt and Tumble run. So that game has the built-in gyro thing on there where you tilt where you tilt and then the cartridge will move.
Yeah.
Kirby instead. The guy playing that was playing it on the GameCube with the Game Boy player, with a Super Nintendo controller, taped to the top of the cube, he's tilting the cube around him.
We're getting up to the.
It was great.
That's awesome.
Let's see. The oh gosh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Uh, the Super Mario World relay race thing was pretty awesome to see.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I want to go back and rewatch or watch. I watched the first half. I was like, I had to get to sleep, so it's like I'll catch the rest of it later. But uh, I need to go back and watch the other half. That was looking really interesting. Of course, there's all of Metal Gear runs. I'm gonna go back and catch those. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker run was really good to see as well. Super Mario All Stars with Super Mario World. That run, total game break.
Really?
Just game breaking. 4 people, like it takes about 45 minutes to play through all 5 games on that cart. Like, just using the quick way to beat every game. They did it within like 20 minutes.
Good grief.
And they had some arbitrary code execution in there,
Mm-hmm.
and they explained how it works. And luckily, they had I'll you just watch it and find out.
Okay.
Metroid Dread, that was a run that it wasn't a run I thought they were going to have on there, but this is still a really good run. Kaizo Super Metroid. This is all the stuff today that I'm talking about now. Kaizo Super Metroid, that was a challenging game to even watch being played. The guy that running it, Oats and Goats, he plays a lot of Super Metroid, but this, just props to anyone who would even challenge or take the challenge of playing that game. Then there was the Super Mario Maker 2 SGDQ levels, and they had, just like the Super Mario World Relay Race, it was 2 teams versus each other, relay, blah, blah, blah. And that takes us up to current.
Okay. Well, it sounds like it's been a good event overall. I mean, there have been some interesting runs and some ones that I definitely want to go back and see. Which is the case every time.
It's like they came back to a live event, and it's like they opened up the doors and just started swinging and hitting everything, and it's like, great.
Yeah, it was really good to have those live reactions as well.
Yeah, it's like a live crowd, live runners on stage, and then you also had people running from home as well. I didn't know that, or else I would have thrown in an entry and see if they accepted it. But I thought they were only doing live in person. Probably good that I didn't apply, but we'll come back to that some other time.
All right. Well, is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, as far as me, I have been playing still a lot of TMNT. We played through that before the show. Again, that video, I'm going to throw that one up on YouTube so everybody can watch that if they want. But
I really hope you like Austin Powers quotes.
Yes, there's plenty of Austin Powers quotes throughout the show. But the DLC for Cuphead finally has come out, the Delicious Last Course. And my son and I played through that as soon as we could, and it took us a couple of nights because we got through about half of it the first night, and then the other half the second night. There's one secret boss that I know is in the game that we haven't figured out how to unlock yet that we need to do. But I think there are like 6 main boss fights. There's none run and gun levels this time, which I was a little sad about. I was hoping to get some more run and gun levels, but this is just the boss fight type stuff in the game. And you play as either Mugman or Cuphead, and at the beginning of the game, you run into Miss Chalice, who is coming, she's a ghost, and she's coming from another dimension, and you figure out that she can possess the body of one of the other 2 characters for a few seconds, and then they meet the villain of who. I guess I shouldn't say that. That's a bit of a spoiler. They meet the chef who gives them a cookie that they can use to play as Miss Chalice throughout the level. It's a charm that you get at the very beginning of the game that you can equip, and if you do, at the very beginning of the level, whoever has that equipped becomes Miss Chalice for that level. and if both of you have it equipped, it'll randomly pick one player to be the person. Good grief, I'm getting so many ads in the show tonight. I hate this.
So it doesn't. There's no 3 players.
There's no
It's
3-player stuff. No, it's still just a 2-player
okay.
situation. But the new bosses are all really fun. This wasn't as difficult as the main game was. None of the bosses really gave us a ton of issues. We didn't get super frustrated at any of them. Like, some of the bosses in the main game were pretty frustrating, and it took, a dozen or more attempts before you were finally able to beat them. And we finished all of them in no more than maybe 4 runs. Was the hardest boss that we had to fight.
Are you sure you guys weren't like really well prepared?
Well, we hadn't touched Cuphead since it originally came out on the Switch. So we were going into this pretty raw as far as our Cuphead skills. So I don't know if it maybe is just because we know what to expect from a Cuphead game and knew kind of what to do, but I didn't find this one nearly as difficult as the original game. It's still, that doesn't mean it's not fun, because the game is super fun. It is very, very well done. The bosses are fun. The music is incredible. But it was not as difficult this time around. And I think that's been sort of the overall opinion from a lot of people who were playing it. We did get tricked. I'm going to see if I can put that video up on YouTube by one of the bosses who we were fighting, and it dropped this little knockout banner like we had beaten it, but there was a secret, and the actual boss had been hiding under his hat the whole time. And when you knock out the guy that the main boss is controlling, it drops the banner and it tricks you. And he pops out of the hat, and that is when you can actually... It just takes a few more seconds to actually defeat him at that point, and the actual knockout thing comes across the screen. But it was a
was
nice...
this a Ratatouille boss?
It was it's sort of a little bit. Yeah, there's an anteater, and he's the main boss is hiding under his hat. He's a little snail, and he's the one that's actually controlling the anteater, and then once you kill the anteater, he pops out from under the hat. But it was a fun little twist that we weren't expecting, and both of us got caught sort of unawares, and both died because we had thought we had finished the level and we hadn't. So that was a fun little bit. There's only one plane level in this, and the plane levels were always the most frustrating ones for us in the original game. This one wasn't too terribly bad. But yeah, the game is super fun. The DLC is like $8, and it adds about 3 hours worth of content, which I think is perfectly okay. If you loved Cuphead, you will absolutely, I think, without a doubt, enjoy the DLC. If nothing else, the soundtrack is almost... If I could just get a copy of the soundtrack, that would have been cool too, because the soundtrack for this game is just incredible. But yeah, that's what we've been playing. We've played through it on normal. Now we're going to have to go through, just like we did in the original, play through it on the hard difficulty level. I think when we got credits, it showed that our completion percentage was at like 35%.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, there's still a lot of stuff, and I assume that's just going through the game again on the hard difficulty.
Yeah, I say hard mode, that puts you up to 70%, 30% for collectibles. And
we may have to play it again on the easy mode as well. I don't know. But then once you've beaten the bosses, or as you play through the game, there's not only the bosses, but there are 5, what they call, I think they're called the King's Challenges. And it's basically like a chess set. The king has these challenges, and you play, you fight against pawns, and the next level is like the rook, and then the knight, and then the bishop. The only one you don't fight against is the king himself. The last challenge is fighting against the queen, which makes sense because she would be the toughest, character on the board. But in those levels, you don't get to use your weapons and you don't get to use your charms. The only thing you can do is parry. And each of those levels has different sort of parrying challenges that you've got to try to figure out in order to actually damage the boss. Like one of them, the Rook is like this executioner, and he's sending skulls at you, and some of the skulls are pink, which let you parry, and you have to parry them back at him and hit him with the skulls, but you have to get the angle just right, because whatever angle you hit it at, it's going to go in that that opposite direction. So there's some fun little challenges that are really tough. I struggled with the parry stuff. I've always struggled with the parry mechanic in Cuphead. But those are a fun little twist on the game, and I am absolutely loving it. And we're going to play through it still a little bit because we've got to do hard mode. But yeah, so if you're interested in Cuphead, definitely check out The Delicious Last Course. That, and as far as I know, that is it for Cuphead until they decide to do a sequel. So this is all you're going to get for a while, but it is well worth the $8. So.
Didn't we have a season 2 announced for the Cuphead show?
Yes, there is a second season coming for the second half of the first season is what it is. So there's more, because they haven't finished the first season yet. But yes, that's coming next month. So we're not that far. We're 3 or 4 weeks away from more Cuphead in the form of the cartoon. So
Hey Tony.
What?
2,742,000, and it keeps climbing rapidly. It's already at 274.
I imagine they're going to hit their goal before we're done recording the show.
Oh yeah, they probably will, and they'll keep going.
So, well, let's take a quick break here for a second, and then we will come back and we will talk about the news. Up first in the news, if you are a fan of Ubisoft games on the Wii U, you are going to lose the opportunity to take advantage of some of the online features of some of Ubisoft's games on the Wii U very soon.
Oh no.
Beginning September 21st, on September 21st, they are shutting down the online services for Assassin's Creed 3, Rayman Legends, and Zombie U.
Gasp.
So,
okay, I know Zombie U had stuff, Rayman Legends had something. What did Assassin's Creed 3 have?
Assassin's Creed 3 had a whole multiplayer mode.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did we never play that, Tony?
I don't know, because I played a bunch of it.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Next week?
it was really fun too. Like it was an interesting twist on multiplayer. I mean, it was just the same old, kill everybody and try to be the last one, get the most points or whatever.
Yeah, that's why I never played it. Never mind.
It's not a battle royale. It is it's very much like the team deathmatch type thing.
The winners have more people targeting them. The losers stay in the losing
I was
position.
remembering that there was an Assassin's Creed game where it had like objectives where you like team up with everyone, and it's like, all right, we got to take out this target.
Well, I mean, Assassin's Creed Unity had a multiplayer co-op for the campaign.
Yeah, that's the one.
Assassin's Creed 3 just had, it was traditional online multiplayer. And I played quite a bit of it for, about a month after the release of Assassin's Creed 3 on the Wii U. Zombie U, you will not be able to take advantage of any of the, your friends showing up in the game and giving you their loot if they die. You'll not be able to link your Ubisoft account. I assume that means they're going to be shutting down the Uplay support for that as well. If there was anything for Uplay that you could... I don't even remember if there was Uplay stuff that you could get in the game. Rayman Legends is the same thing. You'll not be able to link your Ubisoft account or use any of the online features. And then Assassin's Creed 3 is the same, as well as losing the ability to play multiplayer. So,
just a reminder, I only died one time in Zombie U.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You probably would have found my corpse all over the place. Like I died.
I don't
bunch.
remember if I found yours. I just remember blazing through there. Like you didn't finish it. Shelby did finish it,
Shelby
and I
did
definitely.
finish it.
I and I just remember like out of all of us, y'all were talking about all your different deaths, and it's like, well, I died the one time because the game actually killed me, not the zombies.
Yeah. I was getting close to the nursery section of the game.
Oh gosh.
Whenever I quit playing, I don't remember exactly why I stopped.
It got too creepy at that point.
So that's one of those games I continue. I see it on sale for $5 all the time, and I'm like, I am just gonna buy this on PC so I have a copy of it that I can play. But I never actually, or on PS4.
It's a really decent zombie game.
It actually is.
Until you get to the later stuff, and it's like, all right, here, have ghost electric zombies. What the heck, guys?
You don't remember the ghost electric zombies in Ghostbusters?
Okay, I remember. Okay, so Tony stopped playing. I forget why. Shelby, he survived and escaped, but he didn't have the antidote. I survived and escaped and had the antidote.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think those podcasts where we were doing the playthrough are still available anywhere.
Probably not.
So, yeah. So there you go. That is it for that. Sega this week released some pretty good stuff for Switch Online. We got 4 brand new Genesis games this week, and they are some pretty decent. Genesis games. So,
how do you release a new game on a console that's been out for?
You make them available for the first time on that system.
He's got a point.
So, but we got on Switch Online for the Sega Genesis, we got Zero Wing, which is most famous for its memes. That is the All Your Base or Belong to Us game. But it is actually a really good side-scrolling shooter. Comic Zone is
That's
out.
a really tough side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Target Earth, which is the only one I don't really know anything about. I know you play as like a mech or a robot of some sort in the game.
The year is 2048. Targets have taken all over the entire Earth. Walmart is no more.
No, I think Earth is the target now.
So we're 26 years out from that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. And then the last one that they released is Mega Man: The Wily Wars.
An official U.S. release of Mega Man Wily Wars by Sega.
It has never been released on consoles here in the States. It was available on Sega Channel, and that was the only way you were able to play it.
There were the first gen of those Sega mini console things that you could get it. I think it was also on the Genesis Mini, right?
I don't remember.
But I'm talking about like I mean like I know the mini consoles recently. The first gen things I was talking about earlier, those are like the things you'd go to Dollar General and buy that seemed like a cheap knockoff.
Yeah, so I don't know anything about.
But some of those things are really cool because you could actually put cartridges in there and play the carts.
Yeah,
and it would also play other games too. But man, Wily Wars, like in an official capacity, is always a nice find.
And I've actually been playing that this week. That game is tough. It is not the same as the NES game. I mean, it is the same game, but they definitely updated it. I mean, it is a 16-bit version of the game. It looks really good. Like the pixel art and the pixel work in that game is just really, really good. The music is okay. I don't like the music nearly as much as the NES
because
versions.
the chiptune stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Genesis music is technically better than the NES, but the soundtracks for the NES versions of these games are way better, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
But the enemies in this game are damage sponges. They take so many hits before they die. Like things that you're normally on the NES game, you don't have to stop, and you can just keep running and you shoot them a couple shots and they're dead. It's like 6 or 8 shots before they die in Wily Wars, and some of the power-ups that you get for defeating Robot Masters aren't as powerful. Like Metal Man in Mega Man 2 is almost useless in Wily Wars.
Really?
Yeah, except against one boss. Like you could, in the NES version, you could use Metal Man on 2 or 3 or
Yeah,
4.
he destroyed everything.
He was
really
broken. But that is not the case in Wily Wars. And some of I don't remember exactly which ones it were, but there were some combinations that I thought were the right combinations from the NES, just don't work on Wily Wars. And they're not as powerful. Like, they don't, even if you're using the right combination, they don't do as much damage as they do on the NES. So it is a more difficult version of Mega Man than the NES versions of 1, 2, and 3 are. But it's not to say it's bad, because it's not. It's really good. If you haven't played Mega Man in a while, or if you've never seen Wily Wars, check it out, because they're actually really good. And I think most of the releases from this week's releases on the Genesis are all really good. Like I said, the only one I don't know anything about is Target Earth. So, I'm hoping eventually we'll get some GameCube games on there. That's the one I really want to play. I don't want to play any more N64 games. I don't want to play any more NES games. I mean, there's some that I'd like to see released on there. But I think it's time to bring the GameCube out of retirement and put some of those titles out for people to play.
Double Dash.
Heck yeah. I play some Double Dash.
Sounds interesting.
In a little bit of sad news this week, though, Sucker Punch has announced that they have no plans on revisiting some of their older franchises. In a blog, there was a blog that was celebrating the 25th anniversary of the studio this week, and the team said in that blog post that while they're proud to look back on the legacy of characters and stories it's created, they're focused on their current project, which I think is probably a Ghost of Tsushima sequel.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They said, as we approach 25 years since Sucker Punch first opened, we're proud to look back on the legacy of characters and stories we've created, from Rocket Robot on Wheels to Sly Cooper and Infamous, and most recently Ghost of Tsushima, the developers said. But they have no plans right now to revisit franchises like Sly Cooper or Infamous. They are focused solely on stuff like Ghost of Tsushima right now. So I'd love to see more Infamous. I think that is a franchise that needs another game.
They got 3 games and then a couple of standalone things, but that's a whole world they can expand on that they've made.
Yeah. Second Son was one of the first games I played when I got a PS4 along with Knack, and I was blown away by what I saw visually in Infamous Second Son, because I hadn't seen that. Like, they used lighting and neon everywhere and took full advantage of what the PS4 would allow them to do at the time. And that was just running around Seattle, especially at night, because it was raining constantly. Everything was wet. There was lights glowing off of every surface, and it looked really, really nice.
Yeah, that game was just amazing to look at and play.
Yeah, and I would absolutely love, whether it's a remaster of the first 2 games with Cole, or a remaster of Second Son, or the DLC that got.
I would be perfectly happy with a remake of one and 2.
Yeah,
but 1 specifically.
Like, you update 1 and 2 with the stuff, the controls and the systems from Second Son, and I would be very, very happy.
Well, 2 was already a major upgrade over what 1 was.
Yeah.
1, your camera was zoomed out, and it's like, all right, you got all these electric powers. Here's how we're going to upgrade them. And I kind of missed that in 2, because then it's like, in 2, it's like, all right, I'm getting this ability, this, blah, blah, blah. Now I have this ice ability, or I have this bug ability. And then in Second Son, it's like, hey, I'm going to get abilities from everyone. That's what we want in these games. And it's like, that maybe, kind of, but not really. Like, I was really happy with the electric abilities from the first game. Just saying.
Sorry, I had to step away for a second. My dog was chewing on my TV remote.
How dare he?
Oh gosh, and he did a number on it too. I may have to buy a new one. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know where you'll buy a new dog, but good luck with that.
My wife would be very upset if I got rid of this dog. That the remote I can replace. The dog I don't think I can. So, but yeah. So while another Ghost of Tsushima is a great thing to look forward to, I would love to see them revisit, whether it's Sly Cooper. Like, it's been a long time since we've gotten a Sly Cooper game, or Infamous. But yep, right now they are focused solely on Ghost of Tsushima, and that is a game that's worth getting a sequel as well. So if you're more into free-to-play games like Raid Shadow Legends or fighting games, Namco Bandai might have something for you. Because earlier this year they announced that they are doing a 24-player free-to-play battle royale based on My Hero Academia. And we got a trailer for the game this week showing some of the gameplay and the cinematics, and it looks really good. Like, I'm not a huge battle royale guy, and I know of My Hero. I've seen the first 2 or 3 seasons of it, but I've
Really?
I've lost. I've gotten behind and haven't finished the game. So
I just read the manga. I mean, just knowing that you have like any knowledge other than season 1 is amazing.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Okay.
So, and then I got behind and haven't caught up. I should probably do that at some point, but yeah, I know My Hero Academia, and
I'm hip.
This game looks pretty cool. So we'll see. It's free to play. There's going to be pre-registrations for the closed beta on the PS4 are open. So if you're curious in getting a chance to check that out ahead of time, I'll put the link in the show notes so that you can sign up for that closed beta on the PS4. I think it will be coming to other systems as well, and it's not a PlayStation exclusive game by any means, but yeah. So, I just saw the registration period is through July, and then come on, the closed beta test starts in August.
Okay.
So there you go. My Hero Academia getting a. This is not the first game in the franchise, but this will be free to play for people to check out if they're curious. And we're going to end on, I don't know if it's good news or bad
Awkward
news.
news, I guess.
You guys remember back in 2020 there was a remake of that old cel-shaded game 13 from the GameCube and I think the PS2.
I remember talking to you about it, saying, "Oh, they're remaking this," and then I guess they stealth launched it at some point.
Yeah, I own a copy of 13 on the GameCube. I never actually played it. I don't know why I bought it. I think it looked cool, and I was like, I'll play this at some point, and I've just never gotten around to playing it. But yeah, the remake came out in 2020, and people went, "What the heck is this? This is bad. Like, it looks bad, it plays bad. It is a bad game." And the publisher this week said, "You know what? You're right. That is a bad game. We messed up on this one, so we're gonna remake the remake, and that will be out in September. It will be free for people who own copies of the 13 remake. So you got that to look forward to if you're interested in 13 at all. But yeah, they said, "We're fully aware and terribly sorry about the initial launch of the 13 remake. on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and that it didn't reach players' expected quality standards. A bit more than a year ago, we took the decision to hire Studio Tower 5 to finish development of the game. Tower 5 worked with us in the past, notably on the port of Agatha Christie, the ABC Murders on the Switch. We really wanted to take the time to fix the game and offer owners of 13 Remake a free update, paying the best possible tribute to the original game we all love. So, like, that remake just looks awful. The original at least had the interesting cel-shaded sort of comic book visuals to it. And for some reason, when they remade the game, they just threw that out the window and gave you this generic 3D looking thing, and it was just, it was bad. So, if you want to check out that 13 remake, they will be releasing the update to that game in September.
What's it called? 13.
It's
Lightning
called
Strikes
13.
Twice.
Yes. We hope Lightning Strikes Twice is the subtitle for this one. So, because I think the original was sort of like a cult hit, and it wasn't a mainstream thing that I know of by any means, but it had a following.
It was definitely cult hit. I remember some reports from like X-Play because they did a big deal advertising the game and talking about it, and they were just kind of really disappointed when they would talk about it now, because they're like, yeah, the game just bombed, and we felt it wasn't even any good or something is what they would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never played it though, so
90s kids will remember.
But do they know why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
because it's the only cereal their parents will buy.
It's true.
Boom, mic drop.
That is the perfect spot to end this show, and that is going to be the end of the show for this week. So thank you very much, Cole, for being here.
Double Nightfall rewards next week.
And thank you very much, Ethan, for being here as well.
$2,782,163 right now.
They haven't made the goal just yet.
No, but they're climbing.